Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Nathan Silas, and today we have a very interesting video to react to, and this one is highlighting reasons to why people decide to embrace Islam. I believe that this is going to be a very interesting video, getting to know some of the reasons why people convert to Islam. So if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion or thought, but this is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from this. So guys, without any further ado, let's get on to this video and check this out.
Every Muslim is a terrorist.
When we go back to the story of 9/11.
Two planes have crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
The first time I heard about Islam in a very negative way. And if we're talking more of a positive thing, I learned about Islam probably 3 years ago from traveling, meeting these people, and then I really learned about Islam when I read the Quran last year during lockdown.
While consuming news or current affairs media, it may appear that incidents happening around the world often involve individuals who identify as Muslim. With continuous exposure, there is a risk of subconsciously developing the belief that Islam or Muslims are solely responsible for all the problems in the world.
Every Muslim is a terrorist. Period. Right now. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth.
Oh, please.
I'm done with you.
What ended up happening was about midway through my first prayer, I heard a yelling and a screaming, and because I was concentrated on my prayer, and this is the specific time between me and God, I kind of ignored that and just focused on what I was doing. But as the screaming and as the yelling became louder and louder, I started to recognize what this woman was saying. What she was saying, and I won't put it as graphically as she kind of put it, was she was telling me that I was an effing terrorist, to go back and fight for ISIS in Syria.
Islam is an especially dangerous variant of it within our current political reality, or I should say Islamism as opposed to Islam in general.
We see remarkable growth that sets it apart in the world where Islam has captured the hearts of over 1.8 billion people, spanning 26 countries and constituting 24% of the global population. The New York Times reveals that 25% of American Muslims have chosen Islam as their faith, with an estimated 20,000 Americans, particularly women and African Americans, embracing it each year. A similar trend is seen in Europe, where 200,000 to 320,000 individuals have converted to Islam, comprising less than 2% of the continent's Muslim population. Islam's influence is spreading, captivating minds worldwide. So why it is so? Why people are converting? Let's analyze some main factors.
From 2018 to 2020, the Center analyzed 48,000 online articles and 5,500 broadcast clips from 34 British media outlets and 38 television channels, and found widespread use of anti-Islam and anti-Muslim language. The report says 60% of articles on mainstream media platforms portray a negative image of Muslims and Islam, with global media agencies AFP, Reuters and Associated Press listed among the offenders.
The media's portrayal of Islam varies greatly, often leading to bias and negative coverage. Western outlets tend to focus on terrorism and extremism, perpetuating stereotypes and fear. However, within this overwhelming misconception, individuals who delve deeper into the truth often find a stark contrast to the media narrative. By studying or experiencing real Islam firsthand, such individuals discover a religion that is not accurately portrayed by the media. Many turn to the Quran, the Islamic holy book, and the life and teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as their references. They encounter a different perspective, one that promotes peace, justice, and compassion.
When I was young, I thought like Islam is a dangerous thing. But when I come to Indonesia, people were so different. So different. They were so kind and so calm and always smile and always help other people. So I think this is different that I know. It's totally different. So I get interested in this religion at first. And I felt really good things in there.
I heard about Islam, as most people in Western countries, by media, by politicians. Islam, you know, as the threat, as the cause of 9/11 and oppressing women and all the terrorist activities. And the problem in the Netherlands, in Western Europe, is that people don't study Islam for themselves. They just believe the media, they believe politicians, so did I. So what I knew about Islam was only, it was negative, it was dangerous. Maybe I hated the religion. I thought sincerely that the religion, that Islam was a threat for society, a threat for our freedom.
The dark era in the West was marked by the influence of the Church, where authority and dogma often overshadowed reason and intellectual inquiry. However, a transformative period emerged known as the Renaissance, followed by the Enlightenment in the 17th century, during which the pursuit of reason and knowledge regained prominence. Sadly, as Christian scholars treated knowledge and modernization at that time, certain assumptions about Islam followed by mass today. Islam, often misunderstood, has faced misconceptions regarding its stance on research and critical thinking. Contrary to popular belief, Islam has long encouraged and fostered a spirit of exploration and critical inquiry. The Quran, considered the holy book of Islam, offers guidance and inspiration, including verses that stimulate contemplation and urge believers to seek knowledge. It's a fascinating notion that every piece of knowledge has a limited lifespan, typically around 100 years. However, the Quran stands apart as a timeless book, claiming to be without any errors for over 1400 years. This extraordinary claim has captivated minds around the world, as the Quran remains the sole book revered by millions across the planet. Its authenticity lies in the fact that throughout history, no one has been able to identify any mistakes within its verses. What makes this even more intriguing is the Quran's compatibility with scientific knowledge. Unlike many religious texts, the Quran seamlessly aligns itself with scientific principles, leaving no room for contradiction, as there are many verses in the Quran about science that are finally approved by various scientists across various fields that 1400 years ago Quran said right, which science discovered now. And this point attracts real researchers and open-minded people around the world. They find some real authority in Islam.
What prompted your decision to convert to Islam?
I started just to have big questions about life, the universe and everything, and I started to explore lots of different answers to those questions, and much to my surprise, Islam seemed to be the one that continually came back to me with the answers that made the most sense to me.
In a world where science strives to answer the how of our existence, there remains a fundamental question that lingers within the depths of human consciousness. Why am I here, and what is my purpose? It is this profound inquiry that resonates with individuals seeking meaning and fulfillment in their lives. Islam, with its comprehensive teachings and profound insights, provides answers that have captivated the hearts and minds of countless people around the world. For example, Andrew Tate, British and American social media personality, businessman, and former professional kickboxer, finds,
some people recognize when I converted to Islam that there was a time I was an atheist. There was a time when I was atheistic. And the reason I am now so absolutely certain that God is real is because I've seen evil. I've seen shaitan. I've seen it. When you see enough evil, you realize that there must be an equal and opposite force. And there are people out there in the world today doing the work of the devil, genuine demons, who are trying to destroy the baseline morality that's inside of all of us. We're all born with some kind of morality, and they're trying to destroy it.
Same experiences by Ali Dawa, English YouTuber.
Around those times, I was thinking to myself, I was starting to think, like, why am I here? What happens if I die? And I was very intrigued. I was like, you know, if I die, it'll be exciting. Like, what's after? What happens after? I'm very intrigued. But I was starting to think because I was realizing, like, not really happy. You know, you might have a lot of materialism and all these kind of things. And I was thinking, you know, I was observing my socks. I know it's strange, but I was looking at my socks. And I said, this socks has a purpose. This socks has a design. And this socks has a designer. That's somebody that made it. I said, how could this socks have a purpose and I don't have a purpose? Can you imagine? My socks is for my feet.
And Jeffrey Lang, professor of mathematics, finds his questions and their answers which provoked him all over his past life.
Why would you put him on Earth where he could feel distant from you, where he can work out his worst criminal tendencies, act them out, feeling somehow independent and apart from you and free to do whatever he wants, when you could just make them angels and put them into heaven and make them perfectly submissive to your will? I looked at that question and said, that's my question.
This is something people need. Islam gives humanity solid philosophical thoughts, and this is one of the most important factors. Islam guides us in practical matters and helps us understand life's deeper questions. It reminds us that our time on earth is temporary and that we will be accountable to a higher power in the afterlife. This gives us a clear sense of purpose and responsibility. Islam believes that every person has the inner wisdom to distinguish right from wrong. It provides a complete way of life covering personal behavior, relationships, community well-being, and spiritual growth. Islam gives us answers to the important question of why we exist, giving meaning to our lives and assuring us that our actions have eternal consequences. That's why people embracing Islam finds comfort, fulfillment, and a sense of lasting purpose. Contrary to media stereotypes nowadays, many women willingly embrace Islam, debunking the narrative of oppression. Conversion data highlights their independent choice and recognition of Islam's positive attributes.
It's growing rapidly. 20,000 new converts each year, 4 times as many women as men.
Converting to Islam, 100,000 converts now is up from an estimated 60,000 10 years ago. The majority are women with an average age on conversion of 27.
But recently there's been a rise of Latinas converting into Islam. So why are they doing it?
So what's going on? What is compelling so many young white women to convert to Islam?
In a capitalist society, women face unique challenges. Just consumer spending, which could reach $28 trillion in the next 5 years, revolves around only women and covers a wide range of products. And this is just to show herself fit in this perfection-oriented world while ignoring the actual reason for being here.
You look at like the typical Western woman living in that lifestyle. The irony of it is those who grew up in like very conservative kind of countries, Islamic countries, whatever, they look at these women and how they live their life and they're like, oh my gosh, they're so free.
Yeah, freedom.
You know, and then subhanAllah, these people who people are looking at as if they're free are actually looking at Islam as the freedom. And I think that that's like what really speaks volumes, because I remember subhanAllah when I first put on hijab, the change in the way that men looked at me, it was insane, subhanAllah. It was like, it went from me being this like sexualized object from wearing like my mini skirts and all this to like when they look at me, it was like with like respect and admiration and like mashallah, like I can't believe she's given up that life for this modest life, you know, subhanAllah. And it felt so freeing. It felt like I was no longer constantly concerned about how men thought of me and how men looked at me and like, did I look fat? Did I look this? Did I look that? Like it stopped being about that, and it was so mentally freeing.
Islam, the only religion on planet Earth that gives real empowerment to women by defining their purpose and rules with equality. Education and work are encouraged within the framework of modesty and societal well-being. Islam envisions a society where women are free from hardship, discrimination, and exploitation, fostering a supportive environment that values their contributions. This is the real reason women find Islam attractive. Islam transcends divisions, embracing all of humanity equally. When one embraces Islam, one gains a valuable status, accompanied by responsibilities. Islam fosters a collective identity, promoting unity over individualism. It encompasses all aspects of life, ordained by God, including politics, economics, and social systems. In Islam, fulfillment awaits in every facet of life. That is something innate human nature demands, as Islam is a religion based on the law of nature. Through its timeless message of peace, justice, and submission to a higher power, Islam has resonated with hearts and minds across continents. It offers solace, purpose, and moral guidance, fostering unity and devotion among millions. Embraced by diverse cultures, Islam stands as a testament to the power of faith and our shared pursuit of truth. In a world seeking meaning, Islam emerges as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path to a harmonious existence for believers worldwide. Islam proves itself a dawn for humanity in every era.
There will come a time, as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, that Islam will enter into every home, even a home of hair, even a home of mud, even meaning a tent. There will be a person in that home who is Muslim. In the Sunan of Imam Ahmad, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, this matter will keep spreading as far as the night and the day reach.
Oh, that's a very interesting video, listening to her highlighting some of the reasons to why people join Islam. And I think that when you look at it by some of the things, understand that they highlight, of course, to talks about, you understand, the prayers. You know, that's one of the most important thing that people normally see, and then they begin to start considering joining Islam. Reason being is the manner, or should I say the nature in which, you understand, Muslims conduct themselves when it comes to prayer. Of course, I have lived in a place whereby, of course, I can go and then sometimes for businesses, and then I meet some Muslim, and then once it is time, you understand, for them to pray, irrespective of whatever amount you think that that business is going to give them, they are going to leave it. They are going to tell you, like, we are going to pray, so you have to wait for us. And then they leave. Irrespective, they will not say that, oh, let's continue with this meeting or whatever we are doing, or with this business proposal maybe probably we are talking about. Irrespective of how, in the same money we're going to make from it, they will be like, okay, you just wait, we are going to the mosque, and then we'll pray, and then when we come back, and then we continue. That's just one thing that kind of attracts many. And then at that point in time, you know, people who are not Muslim, they'll start wondering. They'll be like, okay, all right, go and pray, and then come back. And then from there, in as much as, of course, we normally meet probably for business purposes, and then from there you start thinking, what, like, did they just do that irrespective of, you know, the amount of money that we're gonna get? So why is this guy or saying that he want to go to the mosque and pray first? You understand? Why not, you understand, finish, then maybe go pray? But then they tend to respect, you understand, these prayers, and it's very important. And then one aspect of important part of prayers is because that gives us an opportunity to be able to communicate with our Maker, with our God, right? So we are going through so many things, of course, a lot in our family, personal lives, and all that. And then the only one that we can be able to like communicate with, that can be able to understand us and then provide answers for us, is only what? Our Maker. And then they have seen, you understand, the importance of doing that. And then that's the reason why, irrespective of whatever they are doing, as far as it's time for prayers, you see, they will leave whatever they are doing, and then they go into prayers. Like, that's one thing that for me, you understand, that is very attractive, you understand, for me. And then also another important thing that I feel is not that because of the rest are not good, but some of the ones that I consider them, you understand, very important are the prayers. And then another thing is, let's say, the community. if you look at, in a sense, the level of this togetherness that Muslims normally, in a sense, have, like, seriously, it's something that I do wish that we Christians, in a sense, also have this type of, you understand, togetherness, because then they will not even care whether you are black, you are white, you are brown, or whatever your color of your skin is. They don't care. The most important thing is they are all Muslim, and then they are praying to their maker. So it shows that they tend to understand the meaning of humanity than some of us who might be thinking that we are much more civilized or whatever, you understand, we call ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we that we say that, okay, we are much more civilized, we are the same people that will go on to say this one is black, this one is white, and all those things, and this one is supposed to, these ones are humans, and this one as if they are kind of subhuman, and then we begin to show much more differences and all those things. All these things don't happen in Muslim community. All these things don't happen in Islam. The most important thing that they do like is, as far as you went on, in a sense, to take that shahada, right, by proclaiming that there is one God, but there is no God but Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is the last and final messenger. As far as you went on, in a sense, to say these prayers, you are like, you are their brother, like you are their everything. The kind of, you know, you are just there, you understand, with them. Everything they do, they make sure that they kind of include you in everything. They kind of show you that level of love and all that. That's what, in a sense, you tend to experience. And then for the fasting and then the rest of other things, of course, they are all important. And then it's encouraging that since we have realized that the only way we can communicate with God is through prayers, and then it is also very important that what you go through when it's fasting, right? You might have a particular need, right? Or you even want to even thank God for everything God has been doing to you. Like now that we are actually in the last month of the year, you can just go on, in a sense, on fasting, even on your own. You can decide, in a sense, to go on a fasting, right? You pray to appreciate God, in a sense, and worship Him for all He has been doing for you. Of course, there are a lot of us that throughout this year, or throughout like many years, we have not even visited, like, go to hospital in the name of, like, we are sick. Right? So what are we supposed to do? We just go to God and then thank Him. Or the best thing we can even do is that just kind of buy things and then give out to people, right? It's in a way of what? Saying, God, I appreciate you, in a sense, for everything, right? And that's what most Muslims, in a sense, do, that they call it what? The charity, the act of the charity, the act of giving, right? They are very good, in a sense, at doing that. This is the end of our video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So guys, you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.